we just read in Psalm. That's how you let the Bible explain itself. Hebrews, the 2nd chapter, and verse 5. Hebrews 2 and verse 5. Okay, go ahead.
For unto the angel have he not put in subjection the world to come, whereof we speak.
See, the angel's not going to rule the world to come that we talking about. The angel's not going to run it. We are going to run it because we're going to be God. That's what the goal is. Notice, he said, unto the angels hath he not put in subjection the world to come whereof we speak. Go ahead.
But one in a certain place testified, saying, What is man, that thou art mindful of him? Or the son of man, that thou visited him?
See, he said, look, one in a certain place. We just read that certain place. We just read it in the Psalm,
That's
the
right.
8th chapter. One in a certain place testified, what is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the son of man that thou visitest him? What did he do with man? Verse 7.
Thou madest him a little lower than the angel. Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set over the works of thy hands.
See, he set him over the works of his hands. That's what God created man for. But we haven't reached it yet. He's going to tell us, verse 8.
Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him.
See, he left nothing that is not put under him. But he's going to tell you we still haven't reached it yet. Because we haven't reached our full potential. Even with all of this technology that we got nowadays, we still haven't come close to our real potential because it's to be God. That's your real potential. With all this technology, we still dying. Now, they try to find ways to keep people from dying, but we still dying, and we don't live as long as people lived in the old days.
Nope.
Because they lived hundreds of years in the old days because it's not based on your man's wisdom. It's based on your wisdom of God. Are you going to obey God? See, they wasn't sinning like we sinning nowadays, so they lived hundreds of years. See, we all out of pocket now. That's why you lucky, in some people lucky to make it to be 3 years old. Because the earth is messed up now. With all this technology, we still not too smart. So now, he said in verse 8, thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him, but what?
But now we see not yet all things put under him.
Oh, but now we see not yet all things put under him. Because we can't control the sun and the moon. We can't control the weather. We can't control a lot of things that affect us greatly. We definitely can't control death. See, if you had everything put under you, you wouldn't have to worry about dying. Go ahead. What verse?
Verse 9. But we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he be by the grace of God should taste death for every man.
See, Jesus, by the grace of God, tastes death for every man. So that gave us a chance to get back on track to our original purpose. That is to become God. By Jesus dying. But we got to be obedient. Faith without works is dead.
That's right.
Go ahead.
10. For it became him, for whom all things, and by whom are all things.
Go ahead.
In bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captains of their salvation perfect through suffering.
See, Jesus is the one bringing us to glory. He's bringing us out of the darkness into the glorious light. Because we was in darkness since man sinned. Like he said in Psalm 82, I said you gods, but you're going to die like men since you messed up. See, if we wouldn't have disobeyed God, if Adam and Eve wouldn't have sinned, we would have just progressed, evolved into being God. So it is a form of evolution. Even though man didn't come from no apes or monkeys, it is a form of evolution. We would evolve into being God like Enoch did. You read Genesis 5, Enoch just made the transition. We would have did that. That was the intentions until we see it. Now we got to take the long way around, but God's still going to get us there because Jesus died to bring us out of the death, out of darkness. And leader said, many sons unto glory. In bringing many sons unto glory to make the captain of thy salvation perfect through suffering. He is the captain. He is the leader. And he had to suffer to get us back on track, brothers and sisters. But now let's read this. Let's show you. He paved the way. Romans 8 and verse 14. Romans 8 and verse 14. This is what it's all about. Mankind is created to be God. That might be hard to believe, but all you got to do is read it. Go ahead, 8 and 14.
For as many are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God.
See, that's the key. You got to follow the Spirit of God. You got to follow what the Spirit is telling you to do. You have to do it, and you the son of God, but that's only spiritual in the mind right now. You still haven't reached your potential, because you can be the son of God right now. You can be doing your job, and you can be filled with the Spirit, and you still walk outside and get shot dead in the street. So you lacking something, and he going to tell you. So now we the sons of God if we led, but what? Verse 19.
For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the Son of God.
See, if we had reached our full potential as a son of God, we wouldn't be waiting on the manifestation of the sons of God. You got to understand what he's saying. Go ahead, verse 20.
For the creature was made subject to vanity.
See, we are subject to vanity right now. The creature was made subject to vanity. We die, we get old, we get musty because we haven't reached our potential. So right now we subject to vanity. The creature was made subject to vanity. Go ahead.
Not willing by reason of him who has subject the same in hope.
See, but we got hope. Keep reading.
Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glory, liberty of the children of God.
See, the creature is the one that was created. See, this creation, that's why the title is, again, mankind, created to be God. See, so that's why he's telling you about the creature who was created. He said the creature itself shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption. That's what we're in now. This is a corruptible body. We're in corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. Go ahead.
For we know that the whole creation groaning and travaileth in pain together until now.
See, we suffering and groaning till now. Go ahead.
And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves grown within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit the redemption of our body.
See, it don't matter if you got the Spirit, you still groaning, waiting on the adoption, to wit the redemption of our body. We got to become what God intended for us to become. And that means a total transformation. Not just mind. You get your mind right, that's half of the battle, but God still got to change your body, redeem your body, because you still going to die. What good is that? But that's the goal, for you to be just like God. Get a brand new body. That's hard for people to believe. We talk about going to heaven and flying around. Look, God going to give you a new body. Go ahead.
For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why do he yet hope for?
See, we not saved automatically. We saved by hope. So we waiting on this thing. Go ahead.
But if we hope for that which we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
See, we got to wait on it. But now skip down to verse 29, because remember, Jesus the captain, he leading us out of death to fulfill our purpose. Notice, he did it. See, that's why Jesus had to give up being God, which he was in the beginning, and become a man. And when he became a man, he died for our sins. But then he didn't just stay dead. God resurrected him. So he's the first man to become God. Even though he was God in the beginning, he gave it up, but he got it back. He died and he got resurrected and he entered the Godhead. He became again what his Father is. So he showed us the way. Notice what it said, verse 29, that he's doing for us. Go ahead.
For whom he did foreknew, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of the Son.
See, we predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son. Go ahead.
That he might be the firstborn among many brothers.
That he might be the firstborn among many brothers. But when is Jesus the firstborn? Some people don't understand this. They say, well, see, Jesus was created by Jehovah God in the beginning. He was the first to be created. Look, Jesus was Jehovah God in the beginning. He gave it up and became a man. He was the firstborn, not when he was born a man through Mary either. He was the firstborn when he came out the grave. He's the first man to be raised from the dead permanently as God. See, Lazarus was raised, but Lazarus was just raised back as a flesh and blood man. Jesus was raised as a spirit being as God. He's the first ever to do that. The first ever. That's why he's the firstborn. But if he's the first, that means it got to be some seconds.
That's right. And
that's pointing to us, brothers. So that's our goal. That's our destiny, he said. Let's go to Colossians 1. Let's read it again. Make sure he is the first. See what he is the first of for real. Firstborn from what? Colossians 1 and 14. Go ahead.
In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin.
We know that's Jesus. See, he had to die for us to get us back on track to our purpose.